Hello guys, it's Cap Corgi. If you were able to see my previous video, I covered a previous situation on the T dating app where a lot of girls went up and, they gave their personal information to a dating advice app, to be able to, rate men and so on and so forth. And because they, verified themselves using their driver's licenses and everything, and the security on that app was absolutely dog water. It was put into what amounts to a public bucket. All of those verification photos and driver's licenses and everything were completely doxxed. And absolutely, completely doxxed. Which is an insane situation. So that was in that video. I will definitely link that link that in the description. Definitely check that out. But the reason we're talking about this is, while that was verification by the user being like, I'm deciding to put my ID up there because I want to use this app and so on and so forth. This is a situation also related to verification, but in a very, very different way. Everyone on Twitter woke up today, on social media in general, woke up today in the EU and the UK, and all of a sudden, they could not see many things. They could not see anything. And basically, censorship has reared its ugly head. The UK has something called the Digital Rights, what is it called? Here it is. The Online Safety Act. The Online Safety Act. And this has been something that has been around for a good bit of time, a couple of years, I think. And they kind of just got really, really focused on enforcing it. And so everyone woke up in the UK today, and in parts of the EU as well, but especially the UK. We'll cover the EU as well, but most of the UK. And they woke up and they weren't able to go on Twitter. They weren't able to go on Cloudflare. They weren't able to go on streaming sites. They weren't able to use VPNs. All VPNs were screwed. You could not even go to a UK pirate site or anything like that. The Motion Picture Association, Disney, Netflix, and everything like that, they were part of this. Like, it was insane. Insane. VPN's not working. Basically, the new UK law bans 18 plus content without ID verification. That's what happened here. You're banned from opening channels in a Discord server. They're able to snipe a Discord server. It's insane. And it's like, this person this is a big league streamer. He plays a lot of Tom Kench, and it's pretty good at Tom Kench, actually. I'm a league player. I'm a filthy league player. You might or might not have seen those videos. But this is probably this guy's most popular tweet ever. He's a decently big creator. I watched his videos and stuff, and read his tweets and stuff. But seriously, guys, 104,000 likes, 5.1 million views, about just yelling about the fact that he cannot go onto his own Discord server as someone who is over the age of 18. This is an adult having this problem. This is an adult. And, of course, there's some pretty good memes. Sorry, mate, do you have a license for that Discord channel? I'll need to see some ID before I let you in. Could be dangerous in that there channel, mate. It's a terrible accent, but you know what? This guy doesn't deserve a good accent. So there you go. And this guy, this is one of the problems. So this law passed because, this he's not bad. But most people think like this. And this is why laws like this were passed. Where, he's like, oh, porn is bad and protecting our children is essential. That's true. But staying away from porn is the best thing you can do. I do not believe weak ID verification should work. However, because you are very strongly about these three things, this is why a law like this got passed. Because if you go back to the history of the Online Safety Act, it was very much put forth as a law that does the first three things. So a lot of people that, read the Online Safety Act were like, porn's bad, and, we got to protect our children. So they voted in favor of the Online Protection Act. But the problem is, when you have any of these fucking laws censoring anything, you happen to have a situation that will really quickly get out of control. And this is why you have to be extremely careful with protection laws, and you have to be with verification laws, and you have to be extremely liberal and very open and strong about protection laws. One of the reasons we don't have this problem in the U.S. much is because our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and stuff is so fucking strong. And this is, one of the big W's of the U.S. system, where do you think that these acts have not been tried to be passed in the U.S.? These acts try to get passed in the U.S. all the time. A lot of times they actually do get close to succeeding. However, we have that pesky First Amendment. We got that pesky, 14th Amendment. We got that, many different amendments of the Bill of Rights and Constitution that protect our ass from getting, reamed with censorship, because we have some of the most draconian people in the government for this country in the U.S., and they want to pass laws like this all the time, and they try all the time. But we're able to fight it out. And it's an eternal fight. And what I think happened is that the English, the UK, and the generation younger than me in the UK and in the EU, they didn't realize how much that they have to fight for every single one of their rights in order to not absolutely get their rights to do things like go on Discord and everything like that, completely innocuous things. They didn't realize how quickly all of that can go away. Everyone woke up in the UK and realized it in one day. And by the way, this is like a petition where you can create a petition in the UK Parliament and the UK government. This is actually a big W for the UK, where if it gets 100,000 signatures, they have to talk about it. They have to have like a forum about it and everything, which is good, because I hope that this does lead to a forum where everyone piles in on the government. Everyone is like, "Oh, mate, what the fuck? I can't look at my Discord." And they just go ham. They should. This is a giant warning sign for the British. This is a giant warning sign for the EU, and I'll talk about the EU because this does delve into the EU as well, where their privacy and everything is completely fucked if they allow it to be. And they have to fight for their rights. They have to fight for their rights to be able to, as adults, go on websites. And, it doesn't have to be porn. Everyone's like always focused on porn. This is porn is the Trojan horse that a lot of these lawmakers use to pass draconian laws that take rights away from you and I and everyone around the world. And we've seen this in my previous video. I was right, guys, by the way. I hate being right, but I'm never wrong. And this is something you guys need to know. If you're wondering about, man, is Cap Corgi ever wrong about anything? I'm not. I made an entire video just a few days ago about Steam games getting censored forever. And this was due to 1,000 people in Australia. 1,000. Creating a dogshit petition at Council of Karens, getting some Council of Karens to sign their stupid ass petition about not safe for work games. And as a result, over 500 games got banned on Steam. And, this delves into just today and in this very same situation where itch.io got games removed and everything as well. And it's hit other sites as well. It's a crazy fucking situation. But I wanted to first talk about this entire situation with our digital rights because this is a very similar thing. And this is, by the way, how they verify your age. So what they do is something called All Pass Trust. And what it does is it does something called a VMA analysis, where they kind of verify. They can verify through VMA is called Verify My Age. It's a company that does it, and the company is a very flawed company. You don't know who runs that company. People can find out, and I hope they do. But this is like a UK-based company that will do several different ways to try to figure out, are you 18 plus or not? And you have to give all kinds of data with your digital footprint. They can basically figure out your entire digital footprint based on your ID, based on your email, to figure out, are you 18 plus or not? And also, by the way, this is a very easily fooled situation where, a lot of people who are 18 plus are getting screwed over, and, they can't prove that they're 18 plus without giving their entire what amounts to a driver's license. I think it's an ID card in the UK. which is a huge breach of security for a person to do. You shouldn't give your fucking driver's license or anything like that to anyone. If you can avoid it, because every time you do, it's another like semblance and another vector of someone being able to steal that data and steal your identity. Yeah. So like this is another example. This person is in the Netherlands, and he's getting affected by the UK law. Why? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, but it is terrible. This person is not even from the EU. Not even from the EU. And the age verification is hitting people in Spain, Portugal, and Germany. This person creates some spicy art. And it's like, fan arts and pinups and stuff. It doesn't seem like anything like too bad or anything like that. It's like, yeah, you know what? Like, this is like a, a bikini shot, right? Like, it's nothing crazy, right? It's nothing crazy. It's not like, the collective shout people, and I'll link that video. Please watch that video. All of these things are happening at the same time for a reason, guys. The UK is cracking down on censorship at the same time that the payment processors are doing so, at the same time that the Australian government with special interest groups and extremists are doing so, at the same time that the EU is pushing shit like this, at the same time that the US is trying to do shit like this. So all of these things are happening at the same time for a reason. Is it all connected? Absolutely. Do I sound crazy and unhinged? Yes. Do you know why? Because it's not paranoia if they're actually after you, man. And you can see this easily. I'm sorry, I had to go on a little rant. But this person is not even from the EU. They shouldn't be subjected to EU laws. They're having issues selling their art to people from Spain, Portugal, and Germany, and etc. It's absolutely, absolutely insane. It's a fucking scam. This person is verifying they're from Sweden. Everything got censored. And then they were able to change their location in the app settings to the US, and they were able to get around it. But VPN didn't work, and this workaround for the US is probably not going to work for a very long time either. So these holes that people are using to get around with the loopholes are not going to last very, very long. These can be fixed at any fucking point. It's absolutely, absolutely unfucking hinged. People, and I will link this, by the way. I'm not from the UK, but I care about your digital rights. And if you care about that, make sure to give this video a like and give this channel a sub. I will always say it how it is, whether it's something about digital rights, whether it's something about gaming. Mostly what I cover is gaming. And I will, speak authority to power and tell them that they're doing bullshit. If it's Ubisoft or if it's the UK government, I don't give a single fuck. So, I'm only mainly focused around games, but this is tertiarily related to games, and I told you how, with the Australian censorship that happened, taking games off itch.io and Steam and Epic Games and many, many other websites because of dogshit censorship. And so that's one reason I'm covering this. But I will link this parliamentary petition in the discussion below. It'll be the first link, so all you have to do is open the discussion. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in the pinned comment. So when you look at the pinned comment, this petition will be in the pinned comment, because I think this is the first line of defense for your rights in the UK. And if you're not in the UK and you're in the EU or whatever, and you have friends in the UK, tell your friends about it. Tell your parents about it. Tell your family members about it, because if you're in the UK, you're being faced with very, very similar shit as well. So you might have to go through a very, very similar process as the Stop Killing Games movement, where you have to create a petition for 1 million signatures and stuff to, really, really hone in on these issues that the UK government is going to try to, the EU government is going to try to push as well. And I'll show you that detail as well. But this petition is going to be in the pinned comment below. Sign it. Be loud. You got to fight for your rights, guys. If you're watching this and you're a gamer, which is, most of my audience, you're probably a lot younger. You're probably in your 20s. You might be even 18. You might not even be 18. It's YouTube, you could be under 18. But the thing is that you might not be used to the fact that your rights aren't yours forever. If you don't fight for it, these governments will take away your rights. Because when they do, you're easier to control. And governments are always, every single government, whether they're US, UK, Australia, it doesn't matter what country you're from. Every government wants to control exactly what you do, because when they do so, you're easier to handle. There's nothing that can happen when you're controlled. The problem is that there's no way for you to fucking live if you're under control as well. There's no way for you to enjoy art. At some point, censors will take out art. Censors will take out books. Censors are already taking out video games. Censors will take out, movies and everything in between. And this is why people use the term draconian. It is draconian issues that, will absolutely ruin our lives, because all of our beauty comes from art, frankly. And, that's just... but yeah, this is the EU. EU gave gave platforms 12 months to comply with strict age verification guidelines, which are currently being tested, apparently, in Denmark, France, Greece, Italy, and Spain. So, this person, this artist talking about, they couldn't actually see anything. Their people couldn't see anything in other countries and stuff, even though they're not from the U.S. This person right here. This is probably why. They're probably being hit by this entire situation here. And it seems like they're capitalizing on the UK's internet censorship hijinks as a good excuse to push their own agenda as well. So that's why I'm linking the UK agenda and the UK petition, because it is a lot of times a very, very linked situation. One reason I made that video, and it was so in detail, and again, watch it, give it some love, share it with your friends. It's probably one of my most important videos I've ever made. It is easily the most important situation affecting gaming this entire year, probably equal to Stop Killing Games. But censoring is very different than saving old video games. So they're both quite different and quite important in their own ways. But the EU is absolutely trying to trample on your rights. And they're making it extremely, extremely public. Fight for your rights. You have to. Because if you don't, it's going to fucking affect me. And I'm selfish. I care about my rights as well. So, part of it, I'm not completely altruistic. I'm altruistic. I care about your rights. But I really also care about my own rights. And, if you guys in the UK and the EU don't hold the line, not only will it screw you, it'll screw me as well. And at some point, this shit will hit the US. So fucking man the fuck up and fix this shit, guys. Because this is insane, man. This is absolutely insane. There's a competition between government-backed overreach and internet censorship for the children style groups that do financial censorship, using the excuse to protect the kids, protect the women. That's, a tagline. I call it the Trojan horse tagline. And you have to be extremely, extremely careful, because this is how they got 400 games taken out of the Steam and itch.io. This is how that they're getting entire websites shut down for visual novels and things like that. Things that are not even 18 plus. Like non-18 plus stuff is absolutely getting affected by this. If you're one of those idiots, if you're a fucking dumbass who's like, oh yeah, I don't care about porn, so it doesn't affect me. It's not about that. It's about, they'll get rid of Grand Theft Auto 5. They'll get rid of Baldur's Gate 3. They'll get rid of any game that has even remotely mature themes, because they don't care if it has porn or not. They care about controlling what you watch, what you enjoy, and they care about controlling your art. They only want you to see the art that they approve of. It is power. It is all about power. It's always been about power. It will always be about power. And the only way to protect yourselves is by taking that power back. That's why I'm so passionate about this. Anyways, so that's, a bit of a throwback to my previous video about the censorship stuff. But this is extremely directly related. If you don't fight back on that, it leads to this. If you don't fight back on this, it leads to worse. So you have to fight back on every fucking level. Now, apparently this is another workaround, and I will link this in the description below as the workaround. But don't think that this workaround will last forever. So apparently you can just, bypass it with one line of code in Control-Shift-I. The console, I'm not going to tell you exactly how, because I don't really know how to code. But apparently this works pretty well, but it won't work forever. So please be extremely, extremely careful. And apparently it doesn't work for Discord. Oh, no, it does work for Discord. Yeah, okay, so my bad. It works for Discord. So I don't know how to do this, but, if you're able to figure it out, that's great. I'm glad that there is a workaround for Discord, but do know that they're probably going to patch that shit out real fast, because this became very, very big. 1.3 million views, 49,000 likes. If you don't think Discord has seen this, you are not paying enough attention to life, guys. I'm sorry. So, yeah. The other thing to know, is that people are already pushing back. People should be pushing back, but you got to push back as well. If you're watching this video, it is on you to push back for your own rights. It is on you to contact your representatives. It is on you to sign the petitions. It is on you to get in the streets. It is on you to call your representatives, to email them. It is on you to show up at parliament houses, because if you don't, they'll take your rights away. If you don't, and if you take too long, all of the rights will be gone, and it's harder to get it back when it's gone than it is to stop it from being taken away. And you're dangerously close to that cusp already. You're dangerously close to that cusp already. And by the way, we've seen this in the past. This has already happened, and we've seen, if you're wondering, what happens if we don't fight for our rights, or what happens if we fight for our rights and we fail, Cap? I will tell you what happens. We've seen this exact thing happen in South Korea. They banned porn, and they required the usage of ID to go about anywhere on the internet. And it's apparently a miserable hellscape of misogyny, cyberbullying, and dumbasses, with everything from horrifying stuff to sex crimes on the regular. And Britain is trying to copy this extremely directly. Now, they become pro-censorship, super pro-censorship in South Korea, which means that if you are, able to skirt around it, it actually takes away the rights of people protecting themselves from abuse as well. This is kind of what this person is talking about. I'll link this, of course, in the description below so you can read it. But it all starts with the various ways to protect yourselves, and it depends on where you are. If you're in the UK, the parliamentary petition that I linked right here, that's a good start. If you're in the EU, it's a bit of a different situation. You'll have to figure out how to do it via your elected representatives in your country. I'm in the US, guys. I don't know how things work in your guys' countries. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you guys are dealing with this, but this is, a situation that affects us all, and I care about it. So basically, just some pointers. If you're trying to fight for your rights in this situation, contact your local politicians. We have something called the ACLU here. And that is like, civil rights and liberties and stuff. And they're like a big group that does that here, where you contact them and they have lawyers that work for them and everything like that. And they try to fight out a lot of these cases in court for us. That is something in the US. I don't know if the ACLU has stuff in the UK or not. I genuinely don't know. Actually, you know what? Let's Google it. If that's the case, you can just go to the ACLU. Does the ACLU have representatives in the EU? Okay, so I will link this. Here we go. Civil Liberties Union for Europe. So there is a European version of this. It is not directly the ACLU. ACLU, the A in ACLU is apparently America. So there we go. But I will link this in the description below. So this is good to have. I will absolutely link this, at least to take out, one of the first steps in the process for you guys protecting your rights. I will absolutely link this for you guys in the description below. I promise. I'll even take their fucking cookies as a sacrifice for you guys. So if you're watching this and you saw that sacrifice, give this video a sub and a like and a comment. All those things help this channel and help my voice be able to be raised up so more people can see these very, very important things and support good content. But beyond that, there's many other steps you can do. Honestly, talk to reporters. Send tips to reporters about this issue. Any kind of reporter at any newspaper or blog site or what's it called, a channel, TV channel, or whatever, they want stories like this to write about. And once you give a bone to a dog like that, they start sniffing. And games journalism may be dead, but journalism is not really dead, thank God. So that's a very, very big avenue. Create infographics, create graphs, create PowerPoints, create memes, share memes like crazy about this entire situation, spread the word and get people fucking angry. Okay? I want you to go to your parents and talk about this. I want you to go to your friends and talk about this. Go to your mates that you talk about online, on Discord and League of Legends, your League friends, your Valorant friends, whatever games you play, talk to them about this. Have them do the exact same steps in their own country. It doesn't have to be your country, it can be other countries as well. Rising tide raises all boats. But a forest fire will burn every fucking thing down as well. So it's the good and the bad. If right now we're in the forest fire situation where the UK is getting shit like this, Australia's getting shit like this, UK is getting shit like this, US is getting shit like this, everyone's getting shit like this. We're in the forest fire situation. Let's get that rising tide to put out this fire, guys, right? Get the word out via things like TikTok and YouTube and so on. Absolutely, that's what I'm doing with my YouTube video. But I'll try to create shorts out of this as well. But absolutely, this is a major, major thing. Complain en masse to, this is going back to the payment processor thing, but that's where it started. To PayPal, MasterCard, Visa. I will link their numbers. There's a great link. I have it. I have all of my information in various different things. So I think, is it this one? Yeah, here it is. So I'll link this as well. This is about the payment processors, but this is like, numbers and emails and everything for Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and everything. And this is where it started. This is absolutely where it started, but also has links to like, the FTC and, other governmental organizations, which will, help in this situation. But it's a very, very important thing, I think, for this discussion as well, as that is kind of where the problem started. So that's a very, very big thing. Blame specific people for this, as in your representatives. If you found a representative voted for the Online Safety Act, absolutely make content about them. Absolutely make videos about them. Say, how dare you support this? How dare you take my rights away? Do that. Get angry. Organize. I'm old, man. I'm 30. I'm mid-30s, guys. So I've done this in the past. I've organized for things in the past. I'll be organizing about this as well. But I'm used to this. If you're watching this and you're, the generation under me or the generation even younger than that, you guys might not have known that you have to do these things in order to protect your rights. So you've got to get organized. You got to talk to leaders in your community and create lots of noise all at once. This is a big thing. And that's basically it. That's basically it. These are the things you do, all legal, all above board. Don't do shit like trying to bully people. Don't do shit like trying to dox, governmental representatives and stuff. That'll just get you thrown in jail and it won't solve the problem. So don't do that. But handle this in the right way, and it'd be extremely, extremely loud, extremely fucking annoying, and extremely persistent. Because don't worry. We've seen this with game companies, we've seen this with corporations, we've seen this with governmental organizations, and we've seen this with governments in general and politicians. People need you more than you need them, because we are the giant mass of people. We're the public, okay? We vote for them. We pay their salaries. We do all of that stuff. They need us. We don't really need them. So they have to listen to us. They're our representatives. And the EU has a very, very representative system with parliament and stuff. So, and the UK does as well. In the US, it's a little bit more rough. There's a lot more lobbies and special interest groups and stuff that we have to deal with. It kind of fucking sucks. But with the UK and the EU, there's a reason your general, not this situation, obviously, but in general, your consumer protection laws are quite decently strong. Because it makes companies like Apple and Microsoft bend, break, and capitulate. You can do this. Do it, my friends. I believe in you guys. We can fix this situation. The forest hasn't been burned down yet. Using that analogy again, we can still put out that fire. And so this is the time. And like I said, it starts with giving this video a like and giving this channel a sub. Because if you care about rights like this and stuff, I'll make more videos about this. I've already created several, and I'll keep creating. If you guys want me to, leave a comment, and I'll create more, okay? I care about this issue as well. So, like I said, organize, organize, organize. Be loud, be loud, be loud. And these representatives of yours have to listen to you. They have to take your phone calls. They have to, well, at least your messages. And if you are persistent enough, at some point you'll be able to talk to someone. And these are your rights. So, at some point at some point they're going to call League of Legends too violent against kids because Annie's a little girl, for example. They're going to say like, Rek'Sai's in the game, Cho'Gath's in the game. That's bestiality. Dude, you never know, man. You never know with these people. If you're playing Valorant, Valorant is a game where it has a chat system. Do you think that you know, these censors want this chat system to happen for people? You're gonna have to sign, just like you have to sign up right now for in the EU and the UK to go onto Discord for NSFW and so on and so forth. Not even NSFW, but it's like you have to verify your age to go on these apps now. You're gonna have to do the same thing for Valorant at some point. These games haven't been hit with this hammer yet, these online games that everyone plays, but at some point they're going to be hit with this shit too. So be extremely, extremely vigilant and start fighting now. So at some point you won't have any hobbies left to protect. So just be very, very careful, guys. Just a word of warning. I know it's a bit of a dour note, but I'm very hopeful that we can stop this because, you know, I'm talking about this. Moist Critical is talking about this. Lots of other creators are talking about this. So, you know, raise up the good voices. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If there's any information I missed, do let me know. If there's anything specific I need to cover that you think I should cover that I've not covered in this video, please let me know. If there's anything that you want more detail about, there's something like, you kind of glanced over it because it is a 30-minute long video, and, you know, I'd love to hear about blah, 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 let me know. I'll cover it. Okay? Much love, guys. Catch you guys in the next video.